Good evening and welcome to the 2014 State of the City. Out of courtesy to your neighbors in the Pacific Ballroom, please turn off or silence your cell phones and refrain from talking during the program. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join Inspirational Glee from Long Beach Polytechnic High School in singing the national anthem.
Please now join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please welcome Rabbi Stephen Moskowitz from the Temple Israel Long Beach, who will deliver the invocation.
We have, each one of us, chosen to convene this evening to hear the state of our city. Yet we are also summoned in this moment, summoned by the divine spirit that animates each one of us to the sacred task of making the world a better place. Let us not only raise up our ears on this occasion, let us also raise up our voices and our hands on a daily occasion in renewed commitment to the construction of a just, prosperous, and compassionate community for all our citizens. Dear God, provoke us, call us forward in sacred concern. Stir in us a renewed memory of the prophetic voice which shatters the tyranny of selfishness and uplifts every people who respond with compassion to the concerns of the stranger, the lost, and the impoverished. Let the words of the prophet Isaiah vibrate as much for us today as they did for others thousands of years ago. Learn to do good. Devote yourselves to justice. Aid those who have been injured. Uphold the rights of the orphan. Defend the cause of the widow. And thereby shall you and I reach an accord, says God. Dear God, Awaken us to the noble powers you have breathed into us to repair what is broken, to lend a hand to those who stumble, to make our community a garden of justice. In a communal reaffirmation of our commitment to such a sacred covenant, let us all say, Amen.
Please welcome Long Beach resident Oscar Garcia.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2014 State of the City. My name is Oscar Garcia, and I am a lifelong resident of Long Beach. I know many of you may not know me. I'm not a politician, I don't own a business, and I don't run a big nonprofit in Long Beach. So why am I the one to introduce the mayor for his last State of the City address? Mayor Foster said in the past that when he made any major decision for the city, he thought about the long term. He said that he thinks about a 10-year-old child who lives in Long Beach and how this decision would impact that child. I don't think he was thinking about me in particular, though, in his years in office, but I want to let you know what he did that changed my life. I've always been an ordinary student. My interest in design and a little push from a teacher made me apply for the ACE Academy at Jordan High School. ACE Academy was a life-changing experience for me. ACE encouraged me to dream it, design it, and then build it. My curiosity in design turned into a career focus. I graduated from ACE Academy in 2011. I am applying to attend Long Beach City College this spring and returning to ACE as a college aide. I know that I want to become an architect thanks to my experiences at ACE. I was really happy when I was approached with this opportunity to introduce the mayor tonight. I've met the mayor before, but I never had enough time to say to him what I've always wanted to say. I know the mayor had a big hand in bringing ACE to Long Beach. This is my chance to finally say to the mayor, thank you, and go Mayor Bob. It is my honor to bring to the stage the 27th Mayor of Long Beach. Please welcome with a round of applause, Mayor Bob Foster.
Please. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I never get that respect, you know? Don't start. I'll just do that all night. Good evening. To the city management team, the city council, elected officials, and community leaders. Thank you each and all for being here to take part in our democracy. To friends new and old, thank you for joining us tonight inside the Long Beach Arena as part of the 2014 State of the City Address. A very special welcome and thank you to my wife and your First Lady, Nancy. I think we can all agree she has been a great force and an outstanding First Lady. I believe you could not have asked for a better person to help lead this city. Thank you. I also want to welcome my oldest son, Kenny, his wife, Cheryl, and my grandchildren, Taylor, Bobby, and Ryan. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for the joy you bring me every day. I also want to take a brief pause here to also thank my staff, led by my Chief of Staff, Becky Ames, You're going to hear a lot tonight about things that the city has done. All of my staff, especially Becky, share in that accomplishment. Round of applause for Becky. Serving as your mayor these past 7.5 years has been exhilarating, it has been uplifting, and in truth, it has been at times exhausting. For me, tonight is the first of many lasts as your mayor. While not without some regret, it is time for me to move on from this job. I have given it every ounce of my energy. In thinking through that decision, it was clear that to continue to do this job properly conflicted with my obligations to my family and my personal needs. So as with that old Roman, Cincinnatus, the crisis having been avoided, it's time for me to return to the plow. Nearly everyone, and everywhere I go, someone will stop me and thank me for serving, and invariably shake their head and say, "I don't know how you put up with it all." Trust me, there are times I didn't know how I put up with it all. But I can tell you, without question, it has been worth every minute. Those times when something just would not have turned out as well had you not been in the chair. In those moments, often small and usually with little fanfare, that improve the life of another. Those are the times that put it all in its proper place. So, as this is my last State of the City address, please allow me to thank you for the privilege and honor of having served you these past 7 years. A very special thank you to Oscar Garcia from the ACE Academy. Great guy, isn't he? It's students like you who will take this city to the next level. Good luck to you at Long Beach City College. I'm sure you're going to make a fantastic architect who will continue to play a mean bass guitar. I also want to thank the inspirational glee from Poly High School for singing the national anthem and leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Great choir, great choir. And to my friend, Rabbi Moskowitz, thank you so much for doing the invocation with style and grace. Thank you very much, Rabbi. Oscar, the kids from Poly High Choir were all much younger when I first took office. Let's face it, we were all much younger when I first took office. I think I actually had one less chin when I took office. Many of you will recall that I have often said that I keep a 10-year-old child in mind whenever confronted with an issue or opportunity. I chose this guidepost because it is a way of forcing a future orientation, something we need much more of in our public life. How will the city's action affect that child? Will it impose future debt on this child without real benefits? Will it provide more opportunity? Will it enhance or diminish that child's future? To maintain that focus on the future is to uphold the very special trust you placed in me when you elected me as mayor. Above all the daily noise threatening to overtake it, I must be true to the responsibility for making the right call in an era of modern politics that confuses loud with correct. All of us instinctively know that we need to provide for a better tomorrow. There is always a tension between the now and the future. The pressure to improve things today is immutable and constant. As an elected official, there is not only the personal desire to deliver more services and benefits today, there is also the public demand for things right now. The dilemma is truly confronted when the pressure of today could impair the future. Too often, that is how public policy is shaped. Unsustainable public pensions are a great example of beggaring the future for benefits today, as are using one-time cash infusions to cover ongoing costs. the elimination of redevelopment another. I have always seen it as my obligation to improve the future, to leave the city better than I found it, and enhance the opportunities for that 10-year-old child. I think I have done this in my 7.5 years as your mayor. We are stronger today by almost any measurement, from our fiscal balance sheet to our community fabric. We chose to make tough political decisions that were in the long-term interests of the city's health, but did not leave anyone behind. And that is an important lesson to carry forward into the new era of surplus and growth. So, measured by my own yardstick, let's see how the city has performed over the past several years. Financially, we are in much better shape. We have resisted calls to raise taxes. We have resisted calls to use one-time revenue for ongoing expenses. We have resisted calls to increase debt. We have managed our finances the way you should your own, by living within our means. As a result, thank you. As a result, we have moved from deficits to a surplus. This year, for the first time in 10 years, we have started the fiscal year with a $3.5 million surplus. And the projections are good. They show a balanced budget for the next 3 years. So even you adults out there who act like 10-year-olds should be happy with this one. Perhaps the most important issue for our young people is the debt of our city, and it carries with it the obligations in the form of unfunded or underfunded liabilities. The single largest liability is our pension obligation. The pension spikes that occurred in 2002 carried with them devastating financial effects. The cost of the benefits given at the time is a staggering $375 million. Unfortunately, we cannot alter that decision, and its effect will be an ever-increasing budget drain. But what we can do, and have already done, is reform pensions across the board in all employee groups, so current employees pay their full share, and that new employees retire later and with more manageable benefits. The next decade should see nearly $250 million in savings from these reforms. It gets a little better, although sometimes a little mercurial. Our unfunded pension liability has dropped in 1 year from $1.1 billion to $700 million. We have accomplished this through a combination of investment growth and reform, and most important, we have lowered the burden on our children who would have had to pay this bill. While by no means resolved and subject to fluctuations, these will go up and down, the trend of this liability is heading in the right direction. In addition to the budget surplus, we also put aside funds for other unfunded liabilities, such as employee health programs and sick leave reserves. I want to give great credit to those on the City Council that voted to reserve these funds. It was an action demonstrating a real understanding of the need to sacrifice today so tomorrow can be stronger. But it is also something for which they will get almost no credit. To make things even better, we're able to realize $51 million in one-time revenue for use for infrastructure improvements, technology upgrades, and other purposes. For the first time in many years, we have serious dollars to fix our city. Indeed, over the past 7 years, we have collectively reduced the general fund budget by more than $130 million. Because of our discipline, we have been able to spend nearly $140 million in one-time revenue for infrastructure and other needs. Now, perhaps nothing is more important to our young people and our collective future than education. Here, while not having direct responsibility for education, we have helped create an academy at Jordan High School. You just heard about it. Most of you know that I came out of a trades background. I worked my way through school as a carpet installer, a trade I learned from my father. Perhaps nothing prepared me for a job in politics, more than spending 8 hours a day on my knees. More than a grain of truth in that one. What it did for me was to give me a skill to use or fall back upon if other initiatives failed. Having a trade skill is a real advantage, especially for young people who will not attend college. I wanted our children to have that opportunity, to have a skill that pays well and is a career, not just a job. The ACE Academy, Architecture, Construction, and Engineering, does just that. In its 4-year program, high school students learn every facet of construction, from the business of construction to the fundamentals of design and building. It has been a great success. From its beginning class in 2007-8, with 57 students, it has grown to over 300. It has a 98% graduation rate and an average of 94% success rate on the CASE exam. It is really a great program. A significant number of students go on to post-secondary education, along with many that enter the trades. These are well-prepared young people. They are ready to work, they're ready for work and careers. This program has given them a brighter future. It's the focus we should have in many other areas. ACE was a pledge I made when I ran for this office, and with the great cooperation of the Long Beach Unified School District, Long Beach City College, and Long Beach State, it has become a great success. The popularity of such career-oriented academics has exploded in Long Beach Unified School District. They have expanded offerings, including new curriculum at McBride High School in East Long Beach. I want to take a moment to give my heartfelt thanks to Superintendent Chris Steinhauser and the board of the Long Beach Unified School District, President Eloy Oakley, former president of Long Beach State, King Alexander, and Dean Golshani of the engineering department for their commitment and their great assistance in this program's success. Thank you. And I would be remiss if I didn't give special thanks to Melissa Brookman, who passionately runs ACE at the Jordan campus. Thank you, Melissa. Opportunity and education are important to the future, but health is vital to all of us, and nothing is more impactful to our health than the Port of Long Beach. Just before I became mayor, the Port had adopted a Clean Air Action Plan. It was an ambitious set of goals intended to allow growth at the Port, but not increase air pollution. I'm very proud that through the Clean Trucks program, the Vessel Speed Reduction program, and the use of distillate fuels, we have done much better than we hoped. And let me tell you just how much better. Diesel pollution at the Port is down nearly 81% over the past 6 years, even with growth. The added benefit to many local families has been the success of the Clean Trucks program. It has not only cleaned the air, but many of the drivers, contrary to doomsday claims by political opponents, are now proud owners of the trucks they drive. Thank you. I was at a ceremony recently at Progressive Transportation where 68 drivers received the keys to their trucks. So far, there are more than 100 drivers that are now proud small business owners with greater opportunities for a better and healthier life. Seeing the joy in the eyes of these drivers and the elation of their families made the struggle for this program worthwhile. It was particularly gratifying to me personally, since I fought so hard for this program, to remain focused on delivering cleaner air, not getting distracted by the agenda of one particular labor union. In sum, we can all breathe a little easier, as these changes should produce an improvement in our collective health. We should see fewer asthma cases, fewer missed work and school days, and much healthier 10-year-olds. Thank you. But this is an issue of vital importance that can never again be pushed aside or set on a secondary footing to the blind chase of increased cargo volumes. And frankly, our work is not yet complete. The two ports still remain the largest fixed source of air pollution in Southern California. Recognizing this, the Harbor Department and the Development Services Department in the city are working together on a West Long Beach livability improvement plan that will quickly bring the community's vision of enhanced neighborhoods to fruition. So let's talk a little bit about the Harbor Department. Port is one of the region's largest economic assets. When you count the 15,000 ILWU members and the 9,000 truck drivers, it is our city's largest employer. It has embarked on the largest construction program in its history, over $4 billion over the next decade. And even with the important gains I spoke of earlier, it has a substantial environmental health impact on our residents. How it manages its operations matters, and its relationship with the city matters. For many years, the Harbor Department was run as if it was not a department of the city. Its impact on the city was often an afterthought. This is an unhealthy situation. Everything the port does affects the city. The city should be able to work with the port for their mutual benefit. Issues like locating offices in downtown or engaging in joint purchasing programs are important and can be mutually beneficial. It's simply a smart way to do business. The level of fiscal discipline matters not only to the Harbor Department, but to the city's reputation. Port commissioners are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the council. They are expected to exercise oversight of Harbor Department management and harmonize city and port interests. By appointing a commissioner does not end my responsibility for governance. It is my responsibility to ensure the port governance is effective and responsible to the city. A cultural antipathy towards the city is unhealthy, and the lack of effective oversight can and has led to complacent financial management. At times, commissioners seemed more concerned with their next international trip than cost overruns. Whenever you attempt to change culture, you will get turmoil and controversy. The status quo hates change. Defenders will claim things are working just fine. In truth, no one benefits by denying or avoiding problems. The first rule of business is to attack problems when they arise. Now, I'm confident that this commission will pay closer attention to construction projects and provide greater harmony with the city interests and continue to improve its financial discipline. The port will continue to be a great asset and will be an even better city partner in the future. Yes, there may be controversy, but let's remember the dangers of confusing the loud with the important. Before I move on, it is very important to note that the proposal to build a massive rail yard adjacent to West Long Beach is not going away. Neither is the threat to air quality that comes with it. The Harbor Department has opposed it. The City Council, Long Beach Unified School District, the Air Quality Management District, and 15 other organizations have come together to file suit in court to stop that development. This community and the stakeholders at the port have worked too hard over the past 7 years at improving the air we breathe to see a project in Los Angeles take that back. Long Beach deserves meaningful environmental progress and, quite simply, deserves better from the City of Los Angeles and BNSF. We continue to keep a focus on another nagging environmental concern, cleaner beach water. Last year, 90% of our coastal waters received an A or B grade during the summer. Very good thing. This is the culmination of an effort that began in 2007 with the creation of the Mayor's Water Quality Task Force. We fought hard to fund thousands of trash capturing drains all along the LA River. 12,000 drains were equipped with these traps. The Terminal Drain has been completed and the Colorado Lagoon restored. All of this has had the effect of greatly improving beach water quality. We also completed our gray water pilot project, diverting over 200,000 gallons of water annually. And the year would not be complete without mentioning the construction of the 600-foot-long Great Wall of Mulch near the Terminal Island Freeway. Exactly. Actually, it would be complete, of course, but isn't it amazing how much attention a pile of compost gets in this town? It's just absolutely amazing. I don't know what that says about public policy, but public safety is job one for any city, and I'm proud to say that with the great effort of our men and women in the Long Beach Police Department under the leadership of Chief Jim McDonnell, we have achieved remarkable results on crime. You bet. We are a safer city than at any time in recent memory. Violent crime is at a 41-year low. That is a 13.5% reduction from 2012. We had an 8.5% decrease in property crime and a 9.3% drop in total Part 1 crime. Now, these statistics we can all be proud of because they're in the face of the early release of thousands of prisoners under the state's plan to shift costs back to local government. Now, please join me in a round of applause thanking all of our officers and staff of Long Beach Police Department. Thank you. We are now also able to replenish the ranks of our public safety departments. We graduated 40 new police officers from our police academy, and we have 28 new Long Beach firefighters from our fire academy. New academies are planned for both departments this year, adding even more resources to our public safety efforts. Our firefighters continue to provide world-class service and response to fire and medical calls. In 2013, Long Beach Fire responded to nearly 70,000 calls for service. Response time for structure fires are about 4.5 minutes, and we are able to confine a fire to the room or object of origin 92% of the time. So please join me in a round of applause. Chief Mike DeRia and our Long Beach firefighters. Construction and infrastructure work continues nearly everywhere you look. We are all incredibly proud of the brand new state-of-the-art airport terminal, completed on time and on budget. It is a terminal that makes a great first impression of our city, and I want to publicly thank Airport Director Mario Rodriguez and his team for their efforts. Thank you, Mario, and your team. Foremost among the new projects is the stunning Deukmejian Courthouse, a great addition to our downtown and a fitting tribute to one of our finest citizens. Congratulations, Governor. Where is the Governor? Supposed to be here. Long Beach's own Molina Healthcare completed the renovation of the Press-Telegram building for their new corporate offices and is moving through a period of unprecedented growth. We are moving forward with the reuse of Schroeder Hall as a new East Side police station. We approved the entitlements for Shoreline Gateway, a 17-story residential tower nearly canceled due to the dissolution of redevelopment. And finally, Mercedes-Benz USA has leased 1.1 million square feet of the former 717 facility. Across Lakewood Boulevard, Douglas Park is nearing full occupancy. I want to again, that's worthy of it. I want to again use this speech as an opportunity to bring special attention to the fantastic work going on in each and every neighborhood throughout our business improvement districts. These are the folks that are the real voice of business in Long Beach, activating our commercial corridors and energizing every part of the city. Thank you to the BID staff and boards for all that you do. Now, over the past 7 years, we have done much to help our residents on a personal level. From 2006 through 2013, we helped over 27,000 people with workforce training. Over 14,000 found employment, and over 4,000 received new training to acquire new skills or upgrade existing skills. Over that period, we've helped nearly 900 young people get jobs in our Hire a Youth program, and over 5,300 young people received work-based learning or internships. From 2009 to now, more than 3,100 companies received assistance through our enterprise zone. And we continue to focus on the bread and butter projects that mean so much to our everyday quality of life. From fiscal year 2007 to 2013, we resurfaced 175 lane miles of major and secondary streets, repaired 163 lane miles of residential streets, and slurry sealed 75 lane miles of streets. And finally, and I do mean finally, Fire Station 12 was completed in North Long Beach. And take a walk down the completed promenade in downtown to check out any of the new restaurants and breweries calling Long Beach home. And not to be left out, we completed this amazing, industry-leading, state-of-the-art Pacific Ballroom here inside the Long Beach Arena. To list all the parks and other additions would take too much time. I will simply say that nearly 60 park projects or acquisitions were completed in the past 7 years. From Admiral Kidd Park to Rosa Parks Park to Rosie's Dog Park to thank God there's no more of those, to Willow Springs Park, our city has dramatically increased its open space. These are the kinds of improvements that pay benefits for generations to come. These improvements demonstrate that we kept faith with the next generation. We have improved our finances, reformed our long-term obligations, cleaned the environment, created a safer city, expanded opportunity, and repaired much of our infrastructure. Those who were 10 years old in 2006 have more opportunity and have a smaller burden today, and they should have every reason to be optimistic about their future. I am certainly optimistic about the city's future. Spend a few minutes around today's young people, and you cannot help but be encouraged by their intelligence, energy, passion, and spirit. For the most part, these young people are accomplished and dynamic, eager to work and engage. Yes, they are growing up in a very different world, but despite reports to the contrary, the future is in good hands. Just look at a young man like Oscar Garcia. In the future, I see Long Beach advancing on so many fronts. We will continue to benefit from an increasingly robust economy and job opportunities that are far more diverse than today. Projects such as Gateway East and Gateway West will add to our skyline and our commerce. The port will expand and have greater volumes and a world-class facility in Middle Harbor, an iconic new bridge with a bicycle lane. Our medical community will continue to expand. Our schools will improve and be re-energized with new resources. Through the use of advanced cleanup technologies, we will improve our air and water quality. I'll bet there will even be a few new tech startups that make it big. The characteristic openness and tolerance of our city attracts people who want to live in a place that values diversity of contributions and energetic entrepreneurs without the lifestyle constraints seen in other areas. We are a magnet for creative people. All over this city, there are creative corridors growing in neighborhoods that you only know because you drive through them. People with talent, ideas, and exciting business ventures are establishing themselves in Long Beach. Our weather, civic harmony, vibrancy, and opportunity are an effective lure for this new class of resident. This country has crossed a job market threshold unlike we have ever seen as a society. We are just beginning to understand the impacts and can only just imagine what the trajectory will be. But this is certain. Employers need a skilled workforce that is trained in languages and skill sets that the majority of the people in this room don't have. Heck, we don't even know what we don't know. Stop and think about this. There was no such thing as an app 6 years ago. None. Last year, they accounted for $10 billion in sales for Apple alone. The technology of the future will astound us. Everything from manufacturing to transportation to energy production and use will change. We will have to manage this change wisely and use it to our advantage. But here, too, is another reason for optimism in Long Beach. Employers need access to the graduates of Long Beach Unified School District's recently announced California Math and Science Academy 2 campus, the ACE Academy, and the growing stream of highly educated engineers, science, and math candidates coming out of Cal State Long Beach. Employers need programs offered through our workforce development teams and Long Beach City College. They can retrain existing employees in evolving and advancing disciplines within manufacturing, design, and construction. And Long Beach City College can tailor and scale these programs to the needs of small, specialized firms or large corporate entities. The city's job is to continue to ensure that its finances, environment, and physical plant are sound, providing these great young people and their prospective employers with the assets to be successful. The robust job centers of the future will be those that provide education, diversity, openness, strong physical structure, and a real sense of community. The employers of the future will look for these characteristics because that's where their employees want to live. These characteristics will more than outweigh the antiquated calls for publicly funded subsidies. If we preserve the fiscal structure and principles we have today, these changes will enhance the lives of our residents. Those who are 10 years old today will be thankful for our prudence, and our grandchildren will have a chance at a better and more productive life. That, of course, is the job we all share. It's no different in cities than it is in families. We live, plan, work, and educate to make things better for the next generation, to make the road a little wider and smoother for those that follow us, to provide for a more productive, richer, fuller, and more rewarding life for the next generation. All of us have this job, either in our families, our work, or in my case, our city. I have taken this job very seriously. At times, I may have appeared hard, forceful, direct, and determined to achieve. But I believe I have done the job you elected me to do. I have fulfilled the responsibility you gave me and honored the trust you placed in me. I believe our city, our children, our families, and our future are better because of the job we did. My hope is that the leaders that follow me will learn from both my accomplishments and my mistakes in their efforts to make this an even better city. If I had one wish to be granted when I leave office, it would be that those who come after me preserve the standards and principles that allowed us to thrive during these difficult times. To place immediate personal or political gain behind the needs of the public. To indeed sacrifice their self-interest for that of their city. A big ask, and perhaps not very realistic, but it is my wish. You, the residents of the city, have a role in this as well. What kind of city do you want? There are calls for increased resources in almost every area. Parks, recreation, public safety, streets, housing, and many more, all with legitimate demands. Do you want your present concerns to outweigh the future of the 10-year-olds? Do you want to obligate the 10-year-old to pay for things that will benefit you but never benefit them? You too need to think before you demand. Your demands have an effect, one to which office holders often respond. I would ask you to consider the 10-year-old before you ask for benefits. This position has been an honor Nancy and I will never forget, and an experience we will treasure for the rest of our lives. Nancy and I thank you for the marvelous opportunity you gave us. We hope we have lived up to your expectations. We know we have given it our best, and we hope that those who were 10 in 2006 and are now young adults believe we have kept faith with our obligation to them. Thank you, and may God bless you and this city. Thank you. Thank you again for the honor. It really has been a pleasure. Thank you, Nance. Thank you.
Season rise when I came.